What's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of On the Mic with Michael Flix. Special episode of On the Mic with Michael Flix. This one's a little different. The reason it looks like an interrogation or like a ransom video is because I'm not in the studio. Very busy this week. I didn't get to go into the studio. I'm working a lot this weekend, but I definitely wanted to come and do a special episode of On the Mic with Michael Flix. It's Sunday, the day after the Open Division Championships between Carlsbad Boys Championship between Carlsbad and Montgomery. I want to start off by giving a congratulations to Carlsbad for making it to the championship and getting it done. They had an amazing season. They're currently ranked number 6 in the state of California. Congratulations to you guys and all of your success. It was a pleasure to watch you guys win that championship. And also shout out to Montgomery. You guys played a hell of a game, down a couple of players. Hell of a game by Montgomery, man. Montgomery played a great game, and I would love to see what that game would have looked like if they had their whole complete team. Shout out to Montgomery for making it 2 years in a row. And speaking of which, Montgomery is going to be a force to be reckoned with next year. I think, respectfully, y'all know I'm here for everybody. This is just my opinion. You could take it or leave it. I think every team in the city is going to have a very tough job beating Montgomery next year. A very tough job. They're going to be very, very good next year, in my opinion. Looking forward to seeing how well you guys do in the state tournament and all the success you guys have in the offseason rolling into next basketball season. Shout out to Montgomery. Also want to give a shout out to all the champions, everybody that won, everyone that got to play in the championship game. But I also the only other championship game that I attended was the Division I championship. So I want to give a shout out to Mission Bay, Marshawn, and everybody over at Mission Bay. You guys played a hell of a game. Also, like Montgomery, made it back to back, but you guys were able to get the job done this year. Congratulations to you guys, man. It was a really cool experience to see Coach Marshawn Sherry just overcome with so much emotion after having like I said, losing in the championship last year, having a really tough season and making it back and getting it done this year. That was really it was a pleasure to watch that. So shout out to Marshawn and the Mission Bay Bucks. Also, shout out again, once again, shout out to everybody that made it to the championship. Shout out to Scripps Ranch. Kai Brown, you played a hell of a game, bro. It sucks that you weren't able to cap that off with a championship, but you played a hell of a game, man, and I'm looking forward to see what you do in your next game and your career moving forward. And that goes for everybody, every player in San Diego. Believe it or not, any game that I attend, I never have a horse in the race. I never root for a specific team. Well, that's not true. I root for Orange Glen because I went there. And I only covered one Orange Glen game this year. So, but I do root for Orange Glen. That's my alma mater. That's the crib. That's home. So I absolutely 100% root for Orange Glen. Everybody else, believe it or not, the games that I go to, the only thing I'm rooting for is whatever kid or whatever family that booked me to cover their kid. The only thing I'm rooting for is that he gets a whole bunch of buckets so that I can give him a highlight package. That's the only thing, and I root for a great game and for no one to get hurt. I never, ever have a horse in the race. I sometimes have an opinion. Every time I have an opinion and I kind of assume who's gonna win, and I might share that with a friend of mine or anyone that asks me, like, oh, who you got tonight? And I always say, I don't have anybody, but I think so-and-so is probably gonna win. But it's not what I want to happen, it's just what I think will happen. I root for everybody in San Diego. I root for every team, every player, every coach, whether I've covered a bunch of your games or whether I've never covered your game. If you play basketball, if you play high school basketball in the city of San Diego, Michael Flix is a fan of yours, and I'm rooting for you, and I will do anything to help you out. I never have a horse in the race. But once again, shout out to every team across the county, not just the teams that made it to the championship, but every team all across the county. Shout out to everybody, man. I definitely wanted to come in here and, just say that. Flix vs. Full-Time Showcase is March 16th. It is quickly approaching. We're going to be doing that at Lincoln High School March 16th at 6 p.m. Of course, we're going to have the All-Star game. After much requests, we're going to have a dunk contest this year. Honestly, admittedly, we didn't have one last year just because I'm not the biggest fan of high school dunk contests. Little bros, I love y'all. A lot of y'all bouncy, but just a lot of time high school dunk contests are just not very entertaining. But the people want it, so the people will get it. We're gonna have a dunk contest this year. We're still gonna have the 3-point shootout. We're still gonna have the skills challenge. We're just adding the dunk contest. And of course, the showcase will cap off the night. So it's gonna be a lot of fun. Full-Time Hoops and I will be announcing our captains very soon. and the captains will pick the teams. To be clear, Full-Time and I sit down together and we compile a list of about 90 to 95 players. We compile a list, we pick our captains, we give the lists to our captains, and they pick the team. They pick the teams. Of course, Full-Time and I are sitting there with them, but we truly, I mean, this is only gonna be the second year. So last year, Full-Time and I had no selections. We didn't pick anybody but our captains. Now, the one thing that I can say I did last year, Jurian Dixon, shout out my guy Jurian. He was my captain last year. The only thing I did, he picked a lot of guards. I was like, hey, Jurian, we need a big man, bro, get a big man. And he selected the big man that he wanted to select. That was all I did. I don't choose players, I only choose the captain. Believe it or not, Full-Time and I do not choose the teams. We only choose the captains, and the captains select their teams. So very much looking for the Flix vs. Full-Time showcase. That's going to be a lot of fun. I'm really excited. I'm hoping for a big turnout. By the time this interview comes out, by the time this episode comes out, the link for the Eventbrite for Flix vs. Full-Time showcase should be active, and you'll be able to click the link and start purchasing tickets for the Flix vs. Full-Time showcase. And grab a ticket, man. We're gonna have VIP courtside seats, and then general admission. We gonna have vendors there, with, of course, concessions. It's gonna be a good time, and I'm looking forward to Lincoln hosting us in that event. Darian over at Lincoln, I need you in the dunk contest. I haven't reached out and told you that yet, but I need you in the dunk contest, man. All the invites for, and about that. So there may be players that participate in some of the events like the dunk contest, the three-point shootout, or the skills challenge that may not get selected for the game. Now, Full-Time and I, we select the participants for the shootout, for the skills challenge, and for the dunk contest. We do select those players. We do. We look for, of course, for the three-point shootout, we're taking shooters, guys that make it at a high clip, that have a high percentage, that come in the game to shoot, not come in the game to shoot the ball, but guys that can, you know what I'm trying to say, guys that can shoot the ball. So we do that. The skills challenge, obviously, we're looking for guys that are skilled, that know how to dribble and pass and move fast with the rock. So we're doing that, and the dunk contest is self-explanatory. So Full-Time and I, we do select those players for those three events, but the showcase, the captains select those players. Like I said, it's gonna be a quick episode. The last thing I wanted to address and talk about was, I guess I don't want to say growing perception, because I don't know if it's growing, but I have heard it a couple times, and I do know it is out there. And I've addressed this before, but more people know me now, so maybe the people that have just gotten familiar with me or just started following me have never heard me say this before, and they don't know this about me. So I felt the need to address it, especially after last night. This actually goes to my earlier point. I don't have a favorite team, a favorite county, a favorite division. I'm truly just here for the basketball. I'm here for the kids. I'm here to help. I'm here to showcase kids, provide them a platform, do some interviews, and help some kids get to college. That's my whole goal in this. Of course, I want to make money. Of course, I want to grow. Of course, I want my content to spread as far and wide as it possibly can. But at the end of the day, the ultimate goal is showcasing the kids, providing a platform for the kids, and helping them get to college. It may at times appear that I do have favorite teams, and that's simply because sometimes families or teams book me for a bulk of their season, for a bulk of the games on their schedule, and I go where I'm booked. When I started off, I was freelancing, just trying to get my name out there, trying to get my work to spread far and wide. I was popping up to any game that I could, no matter the division, no matter the level, and I was giving out a bunch of free content. And I was also actively saying while I was doing that, I'm here for the best team in the city. I'm here for the little team in the city that nobody knows about. And that is still true. That is still 100% true. However, my career has shifted to where I have to go where I'm booked. I can no longer just freelance and just pop up and do stuff for free. I'm a grown man with bills to pay and 2 kids to feed. I have to go where I'm making money. With that, there was at least 4 or 5 games this year that, my kids were good for the night. I didn't have, all my editing was done. I didn't have any prior engagements or anything to do. So I popped up at a few games for free and covered games for free. I still do that, provided I have the time to do it. Like I said, I have a job and I have 2 kids. I have priorities. But when I have time, I do still go out and cover teams that I haven't seen yet. All five games that I went out and covered for free this year, maybe 6. All 5 or 6 games that I went out and covered for free this year, I made it a point to go and cover teams that I hadn't seen this season or even last season. There are a couple of teams that I filmed this year that I had never ever filmed before, period. So that is still a goal of mine. And again, the ultimate goal is to be the PPR of basketball. We all know what Prep Pigskin Report is for football. We need that for basketball. And my goal is to create that for San Diego. That will require me to hire other photographers to go and cover games that I can't cover. That will require, just a lot more money, manpower, and resources. But God willing, we're gonna get there because the players here deserve it, our city deserves it, and we got a lot of dope talent here. We gonna make that happen. So yeah, I don't have a horse in any race. I don't. Oh yeah, another thing I wanted to cover. The unfortunate incident between Saints and Montgomery that resulted in both Lolo and Zaire both being suspended. Initially, when I got home, I went and found, I went and grabbed the altercation that happened, the incident that happened, clipped it up, made a reel, and was ready to post it. But it felt a little weird. It felt like I was showcasing negativity. That wasn't my intent, but that's kind of how I felt. It felt a little nasty. So I tapped in with a few people that I trust, a few people that, when I have questions, I tap in with them and just get some opinions from them. And based on those 2 phone calls, I decided not to post the video. So I just took a screenshot and I posted what I posted. You guys saw it. In retrospect, moving forward, when something like that happens, I'm gonna post it. I'm gonna post the video because my job is to be informative. There's, a lot of people look to me. I'm full-time is the guy. Full-time is the guy. But a lot of people look to me for information in high school basketball in San Diego. And full-time wasn't at this game, so he couldn't provide any information or any coverage of it. So that was my intent, but it felt a little weird posting it. But moving forward, I will be posting it after a conversation with full-time and a couple other people. It was like, no. And also, I want to say to my guy, Hip Hop Snacks, fam, I wasn't trying to come at you in the comments. I mean, you haven't said I did, but I just want to be clear. I wasn't trying to come at you in the comments. I didn't, it felt weird me posting the video. So when I saw yours, I had those same feelings, but you weren't trying to shine a negative light. You were, like I was trying to do, be informative. And so I just want to be clear, bro. I don't, you and I have been building a solid relationship. It's all love every time we see each other. And if I offended you by replying to Heather's comment, that was not my intent, bro. That was not my intent. I don't think you did anything wrong. And I hope it's all love when I see you, bro. I hope it's all love. And if it isn't, I totally understand that too. But yeah, so get back to my other point. If you want me at a game, book me. Or ask me, hey, Flix, are you free tonight? Can you come cover our game? Shout out to anybody that's reached out and said, hey, Flix, it's a big league game tonight. If you can make it, pop out. And 1 or 2 of them I did. The other ones I wasn't able to. But if you feel like I'm showing a bunch of love to a certain team or school or player and none to your school, team, or player, then just ask me. Just ask me to come out. Just book me and I'll be there. It isn't that, like I was at a lot of Carlsbad games this year. A player that plays for Carlsbad, his family, booked me to cover him. That's the only reason. The same thing last year. I was at a lot of, Saints. I was at a lot of Saints games because one of the families booked me. The same thing last year. A family from Saints, a different family from Saints last year, booked me to cover a bunch of their games. So I was at a bunch of their games. I was at a bunch of Carlsbad games because I was booked to be there. So it may look like these teams are my favorite teams, but they're paying me. They're paying me to be there. I'm gonna go where I'm booked. If you want me at your game, just reach out and ask me, bro. And I'm a very approachable person. So if you do have a discrepancy with anything you've seen me post, anything you've heard me say, or you have a certain perception of me that you think is off and you're like, I don't really like how Flix move, I promise you, reach out to somebody that knows me personally and they'll clear that up for you. I don't have a negative bone in my body. Now I'm a man. If someone, you know, comes at me with a certain energy, I'm gonna try to calm it down. And if that energy is not calmed down, then it's gonna turn into what it turns into, respectfully. Like, I'm not a confrontational person, but I'm not gonna let you confront me and just take it either. I'm a man at the end of the day. You know what I mean? So, yeah, man, I just wanted to come in here and clear all of those things up. You know, if you don't like something I've done, just reach out and ask me about it, bro. It's nothing is really that deep to me, bro. At the end of the day, it's basketball, and at the end of the day, basketball is entertainment. Even at the highest levels, even in the NBA, it don't need to be this super serious thing. Basketball is entertainment. It's a child's game that I'm lucky to cover. The players are lucky to play. The coaches are lucky to coach, and we can build lives and careers around the game of basketball. It's such a beautiful game. We can build lives and careers around basketball. But at the end of the day, it's just a game. Basketball is just entertainment. And I'm not dissing it, the people that have made a career of it. I have friends that play professional basketball. I wanted to play professional sports at one point. So I'm not dissing it, but I'm just saying it's a game at the end of the day. It's really not that deep. If you have an issue with me, something I've said or done, please just reach out. Please just reach out and talk to me about it. Please just reach out and talk to me about it. And, you know, I won't say that. Just reach out and talk to me about it. Just reach out and talk to me about it, man. Once again, shout out to all the champs. Good luck to everybody moving into the state tournament. Shout out to every basketball player in San Diego, from Carlsbad down to, what is it, D5 AAA, the lowest division? I don't want to say lowest division, but you know what I'm trying to say. Shout out to everybody, man. I got love for everybody. Appreciate y'all tapping in. It's been another episode of On the Mic with Michael Flix. Y'all take care.